Welcome back, readers. It's Mrs. Carrebo here for another fun day of reading. Today, we will talk about main idea and details using boxes and bullets. And you should have already had some practice with this for your research group and with the food section. So today, I'm going to take you step by step through it to kind of help you along with it. So are you ready to get going? All right, let's go. We're going to actually have a new story. So my first animal was koalas, but this time my animal is elephants, and we're going to focus on that for a little bit. But just for today, we're only going to focus on the first two sections, the largest land animal and two kinds of elephants. So the first thing that I want to do, readers, is I want to read through the section. This page, I want to make sure that I gather up the information, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to break it down to make sure that I get the main idea and the details. So I'm going to read it first to you. It's called The Largest Land Animal. Elephants are the largest land animals living on Earth today. An elephant calf often weighs 230 pounds at birth. An adult male elephant can weigh as much as 11,000 pounds, and some are over 13 feet tall. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and break it down. And I know that they were talking about elephants being really, really large. If I look at the first sentence, usually writers will do this. Not all the time, but a lot of the time you can find the main idea right there in the topic sentence. Elephants are the largest land animals living on Earth today. That whole page was about them being the largest land animals. So what I'm going to do, readers, is I'm going to put that as the main idea. This is my boxes and bullets, and I can start with the main idea. Elephants are the largest land animals living on Earth today. And just like Miss Martin talked about, we always want to start right now with our animals. That's what we're talking about, elephants. So I'm going to start it with elephants. Now let's go back and look for some supporting details, because those details that we find are going to support the main idea. Okay, so let's try this. If I look at the next sentence, an elephant calf often weighs 230 pounds at birth. Does that tell me that elephants are the largest land animals? Yeah, because 230 pounds, believe it or not, is actually more than I weigh. And that is a calf, which means it's a baby. So that would definitely support this idea that they're the largest land animals. So I can put that as a supporting detail. When a calf is born, it can weigh 230 pounds because it's supporting that idea. Let's take a look at the next sentence. An adult male elephant can weigh as much as 11,000 pounds. Now, I broke this sentence up a little bit. I took the first part because it talked about how much they weigh. And again, 11,000 pounds. Wow. That to me would definitely tell me that they're the largest land animals. And then I looked at the next part. It says some are over 13 feet tall. I put that in a separate box because I could break that apart. So I know that they weigh as much as 11,000 pounds, but some adult animals can be over 13 feet tall. So that also supports my idea that elephants are the largest land animals living on Earth today. All right, readers, we did one page. How do you feel about that? Do you want to try another page? Okay, so here's the next page, and it's a new section. The new section is called Two Kinds of Elephants. There are two kinds of elephants, African and Asian. African elephants are slightly larger than their Asian cousins and have larger ears. They can be found in 37 countries in Africa. African elephants roam over great distances, foraging for large quantities of food that they need to satisfy their hunger. Adult African elephants eat 300 to 400 pounds of food a day. Foraging means searching for food. Okay, now for this page, I'm going to look at that first sentence because I remember that most of the time, the topic sentence is going to have our main idea. There are two kinds of elephants, African and Asian. I think that's the main idea. But readers, I could put that as my main idea, but if I think about just this page, which one did we learn about? You're right. We learned on this page about the African elephants. So I'm actually going to take this main idea and break it apart into African and Asian elephants. Let me show you how I do that. So for the main idea, I'm going to say African elephants are one kind of elephant. What was I talking about? African elephants. That is what I'm going to focus on because that's what the page focused on. And remember, so now we're going to find those details that support that African Americans are one kind of elephant. Remember, we're only focusing on the African elephants. African elephants are slightly larger than their Asian cousins and have larger ears. That seems to be comparing them to the Asian elephants. So I'm going to put in here that they are slightly larger and have larger ears than the Asian elephant. I combined those two for this one because it was comparing it to the Asian elephant. I can start the sentence with they for my supporting detail because I already know I'm talking about African elephants. Let's take a look at the next sentence. They can be found in 37 countries in Africa. Thumbs up if you think that's a supporting detail. I think so too, because it's letting me know, again, that that's one kind of elephant. It's telling me more about that African elephant. Let's look at the next sentence. African elephants roam over great distances, foraging for large quantities of food that they need to satisfy their hunger. What did you think about that one? I also think that that supports African elephants. They roam over a large area, foraging or searching for food. Remember, I can use my lingo here. But if I maybe want to put in, think I'm not quite sure if I'm going to remember that word later or not, then when I'm doing my notes, I might put or and then write the definition so that helps me remember. And let's take a peek at the last sentence. Adult African elephants eat 300 to 400 pounds of food a day. Do you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like a wow. Do you remember interesting versus important when we did that? It seems to me that the author put this in as more of a way to keep me reading and say, oh my gosh, I didn't know that and I want to read more. So that one I'm not going to put down as a supporting detail. We don't have to put everything down. I'm going to keep that one as a wow. I think that was pretty interesting or cool. Readers, this is the next page for this section, and this is about Asian elephants. So here's what I'd like for you to do. I'm going to read through it, but then I want you to go ahead and find some details that help support our main idea, and I'm going to help you with that. Let me read it to you first. I will send it out to you, and you can have it there to read as well. Asian elephants are sometimes called Indian elephants. Their ears are smaller and more rounded in shape than African elephants. Asian elephants are very important to people living in Asia. Many of the Asian elephants are used for festivals, transportation, and as work animals for moving heavy objects. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the main idea. We talked about African elephants, but now this time we're talking about Asian elephants. That's why it's highlighted. Asian elephants are one kind of elephant. And I would like for you to find those supporting details that help to support the main idea. You're going to get the one page, and here you go. You can go ahead and fill in the supporting details from that page. That's where we're going to stop for today. I think this is a great segue, and it's a great resource for when you're doing your boxes and bullets on the different sections. You did food, now you're going to be working on habitat to break it down and think about what are those details that help support my main idea. Are you ready to try this, researchers? All right, off you go.